to Blue Jays today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. And today, the news is, I was going to use the word morbid, but I guess it's not morbid.
No.
Nobody died.
No.
It's not tragic, but it feels
it's
tragic.
It's a bit tragic, yeah. That's a big roller coaster.
Yeah.
Roller coaster.
But guys, today we are going to be looking at the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays are now mathematically eliminated from the postseason. It really came down to the wire. We're going to break it down. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and today, guys, that was a blow. I definitely want to talk about it. I want to talk about Boston. I want to talk about the New York game. I want to talk about our game, too. And I really want to talk about looking forward, too. Like, where can we go from here? Because, yes, this is a sad loss, and I felt like this is what the season was coming to. It'd come down to literally one game out, but let's get into it. Thank you all for joining us today. Tristan, Morgan,
shout out to everybody, man.
Everybody, Thino, James, everybody in the chat.
Yeah, 31 people in here right now.
Amazing.
It's lovely to see all you guys. Obviously, we're disappointed. But yeah, looking at what we did today, man, we had a killer game. I think we won like 11-2.
I think it was
that
even
the
more
final
than that,
score?
12-3.
Something
12-4.
12-4. Yeah. Honestly, at around the 11 run mark, we actually switched over games to Boston and to New York, because at that point it was like, all right, we're gonna win this game. Yeah. What are they doing? And there was a moment there, guys. There was that one key moment where Washington Nationals, they were up 5-1 at one point during their game. It was later in the game, and Boston clawed their way back into it, bro. They clawed their way back into it, and GG to them in that regard, right? Like, we were planning.
No,
we were thinking.
I already had it in my mind. Like, I'm like, okay, we're like 85%. We're going to make it. Because, the game with New York and Tampa was still going on 0-0. Anyone could have took that one, but 5-1, you had to take it. They were leading 5-1. Going into the sixth, Boston clawed a run. Nothing by Washington. Top of the seventh, they got 3 runs to tie it, and then that Devers home run.
The Devers one.
In the ninth.
You know what? And I've been saying, man, Devers is a great player, but just like, why'd you have to do it then? Why did you have to do it then? Because he's a great player, and because he's obviously very clutch, and now they're respectively going to the wild card game because of that. But god damn it, man. Any other time, right? Like, all we needed today, guys, was either Washington to pull one out or the Rays to pull one out.
And then obviously us to win. But once we got past that, once we said we were going to win, it was just one. And now there's no tiebreaker. There's no nothing. Red Sox, Yankees, they're going to the wild card game. Winner moves on to the DS2 face. I believe it's the Astros. Yes, I'm not mistaken.
I do believe that would be who they're up. Or would it be the White Sox?
Who ended with the better record?
I think the Astros had a better record, actually, so probably the Astros.
Yeah, it's just postseason.
But yes, my friend, so that's the situation.
No, sorry, Tampa Bay. What am I even saying? Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
I'm on crack.
Of course, yeah, Tampa Bay.
Guys, I've been shutting out baseball in my brain today. That was the only one thing.
Now let me ask you guys a question. I want to ask you in the chat as well, guys. If I were to tell you preseason, if I was to tell you this, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would finish with 48 home runs, tied for the league lead with an OPS over 1, that we would have 6 guys over 80 RBIs, that we would lead the league in team OPS, that we would lead the league in team slugging.
Hey, 4 guys over 100 is even crazier.
That's also messed up.
That's insane.
That's also messed up.
That's Blue Jays history.
Yeah.
No other team in Blue Jays history has done that.
But that we do that. That we would finish 10th in pitching ERA team-wise.
10th.
And,
incredible.
And 9th in whip. And that we would end the year with 91 wins. Would you believe that we would not make playoffs?
No. I would have said we're making it.
Yeah.
But how often, I've thought about this a lot, is how often does a division have 90 team winners? Or
I don't even know.
Whatever. Fuck.
That's too many guys winning 90 games.
That's too many.
The fact that
How do we get in the playoffs?
And you know what? Maybe what's even a better way to kind of put that together is when I list off all of those statistics to you guys, that not only would we not make playoffs, but we would finish 4th in our division.
In 4th. I would have thought second.
Yeah.
I would have thought second.
That record, that production across the board, basically we literally have the Cy Young winner and the second runner-up in MVP, and we finish 4th.
Messed up.
I never would have thought that preseason.
Now, Alek Manoah isn't a high Rookie of the Year candidate. I know some of you were saying that, but he's not that. He's up there for sure, but you can toss him in. I bet on his Savant page he might get a Rookie of the Year, maybe 6 or 5.
3.22 ERA.
Incredible.
Over 100 innings pitched. So, I mean, he obviously had an amazing year. But, yeah, when you look at all that stuff, that just goes to show, and frankly, like, great work, Blue Jays.
They had an incredible year.
Yeah,
they had an incredible year.
We have to acknowledge it, and sadly, we also have to acknowledge the fact that GG rest of the division.
Yeah, no, I agree, man.
Never would have thought this was coming.
Red Sox? Did you see Red Sox doing this? No,
dude. The Red Sox for me.
No,
the Red Sox were the deciding factor because we had. Us and a lot of analysts, even Red Sox fans, thinking that, hey, the Blue Jays, we are a more complete team than those Boston Red Sox. Yep. I thought the Boston Red Sox, they were going to flirt with like 82 wins or something. I did not think that they would be up there at 92 wins and chilling in that second, third spot in the division. That is something they were the deciding factor.
Well, and here's the thing I also wanted to bring up. And Boston, what improvements did they make in the second half? I guess they got Schwarber. They got Chris Sale back. But really nothing changed. But for the Toronto Blue Jays, we changed.
We morphed. We evolved
into a completely new team. And what's messed up is that, and we're going to be talking about this all offseason, guys. So if you guys think this is it from Blue Jays today, by the way, we're not going anywhere. It's going to be all offseason. We're going to be talking Blue Jays, talking everything baseball.
So please hit that like and please hit that subscribe button.
We're not done yet, everybody.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
We're not done yet. No.
But where I was going with that is we have a team that we can actually keep and continue next year to an extent. Obviously, there's Ray, obviously there's Semien, obviously there's those guys. But since Barrios' first game pitch, all right, I just went back on a live, wanted to see where we were around the trade deadline.
Yeah, that would have been just like a few days after the trade deadline. Yeah,
right. 53-48 was our record.
Yeah,
and since then we've gone 38-23 with our completely new bullpen.
Yeah,
with our completely new rotation. Our rotation was dominant.
Yeah,
and you know what? Our offense was a little bit inconsistent in the second half, but that doesn't matter. We were looking at teams before. What are the teams that go to the postseason? It's teams with top 8 pitching staffs usually.
Yeah. No, and I mean, when you look at that record, you said 38-23.
38-23.
38-23 in the second half. That is something to be proud of. That is something that we can walk into the next year and go, hey, everybody, look at what we finished with, right?
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately? That's what's the most important thing in sports. What have you done for me lately?
Yep.
And lately, the Toronto Blue Jays had been pretty much dominant.
Yeah.
It is really too bad that it came down to one game. So now I'm gonna play the whole, pitchfork
riot.
You're
talking about rioting,
exactly.
Fires and
fucking fires,
torches
and start playing the blame game. Should we, in your opinion, now knowing that it's a one-game thing, should we, in your opinion, have gone out and addressed the bullpen problem sooner?
The thing is, we did. We actually did, though. We were the first team to go out and make big moves for bullpens with Adam Simber, Richards. We were the first ones to do that. Could we have gotten bigger guys? They weren't ready to be sold at that time. Those were low-hanging fruit guys that were easy to grab. So I think in a way we did. Yeah, we missed out on the Kimbrel, or we missed out on all these things. But either way, it's like we were talking today too. You can pinpoint it was that game where the bullpen blew it, or it was this game where Marcus Semien threw that ball at first and missed and we lost. But then there's also games that we won, that George Springer home run, all these great comebacks. So what I'm seeing here is this is a good team. Okay, this is a good team. You're gonna have bad losses. You're gonna have good wins. And I just did the math based on our second half record. And I don't think this is going to happen. This is really a lot. But if we make some good moves in the offseason, we can keep going on this pace in our second half. We were supposed to win 100 games at the pace we were going in the second half.
Yeah.
100. I think we could win. Might sound crazy. All depends on the offseason. I think next year 94 wins is well within sight.
It all depends how you start and what you do in the offseason. Because, you can never go yes, because we did that in the last stretch, like we will 100% guaranteed to do it.
Right.
Starting the
I'm
year.
not saying 100
other
wins,
things
but
will happen.
yes.
Other problems will come up. But you're right. We finished strong. So, okay. It's not the management. I wanted to put that out there. Like, should the management have done something sooner? You're saying, I think that we did.
We did. They did everything.
Can we put this on Charlie Montoyo?
And we're definitely going to have videos coming about that. More videos. We love talking about Charlie. As of late, I really haven't seen anything that's like, that was stupid. Because here's the thing. And like, I'm actually working on a video summarizing the season. Montoyo had to make stupid decisions because it was the only decision to make. It was like dumb or dumb. Which one am I going to do? Like, meaning, like, am I going to put a bad, low leverage guy in this high critical situation after our rotation couldn't give us 6 innings? We had to pull them after 3 or 4, use all our guys. Now we have to play these garbage guys. But once we figured out the rotation and once we added some back end quality guys, there was no more clear doink Montoyo. What are you doing here? It maybe happened once every 2 weeks, but that's human.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't every game. So I can't really blame Montoyo when we win 91 games.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you. And Zendot comes out here and he says, I thought Montoyo was being really smart.
Yeah.
And I think down the stretch, I saw a lot of improvements from Montoyo. And at the end of the day, right, there's been a lot of Charlie hate across the season. But when you look back at what we've done, finishing where our pitching finished, 10th, 9th in whip, finishing where our offense finished, getting 91 wins, I can't look at this manager and go like, this guy's not doing stuff. Like, clearly the team that he built was good.
It was good. And but there's one thing, the stat that I think we both overlook a lot, but it's one I really want to look at, and maybe an upcoming podcast, is our defense.
The defense needs to be better.
Yeah,
defense needs to be better.
You can really pinpoint it like up the middle, and we always like praise that we have Marcus Semien and Bo Bichette up the middle. But there's been, guys like Bo Bichette, if I'm not mistaken, maybe leader.
I do believe that he leads the entire league. Well, it would have been a bloody hard thing to catch up with him, bro. Like, I can take a look right now.
But it's like now that, but like the fact is, like now we don't have to. If management does the right thing, sign a couple guys, keep that integrity of the bullpen and the rotation. Obviously, our lineup is pretty solid moving forward.
Yeah.
If we can just clean up the defense, we have a really good shot to next year. And our division is competitive. That's not going to go anywhere. That's not changing.
No, we cannot be counting out, because preseason we counted out the Boston Red Sox.
Nope.
I was kind of hopefully thinking that the Rays wouldn't be as good.
Yeah.
Nope. It's like, in fact, the Yankees I thought would be a lot better than they were. And we kind of got lucky that the Yankees only won 92 games, even though we didn't end up making postseason anyways. But that was like their floor.
I thought they'd get like 94, 95, 96.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
least.
Like the Yankees kind of hit their floor this year, whereas like Boston hit their ceiling, and I would argue that,
hit our ceiling.
That Tampa kind of hit their ceiling as well. Yeah, we did hit our ceiling. Right? Everyone was kind of hitting like what you're gonna do, So yeah, the reason that I pointed that out about should we got a bullpen sooner isn't Montoyo's fault, because I imagine that in the coming weeks we are gonna be seeing a lot of like it was this, it was that.
Yeah.
But I would argue that it was a mixture across the board of everything.
Yeah.
Defensive errors for sure.
Yeah.
Managerial decisions, absolutely. Montoyo stuff for sure. Not clutch hitting, 100%.
Youth.
Yeah.
You saw youth everywhere.
Yep. When it comes down to one game, it really wasn't like one person's thing. There was so many opportunities where, yes, we could have picked up another game, like that Marcus Semien error on the Detroit Tigers.
And like you can pinpoint that so easily. Like we would have literally been in the playoffs if he would have just made that
so
throw.
easily. But I also I can't 100% go that against
162
him because he
games.
also
That's one
hit
game.
45 fucking home runs.
Exactly.
Right? How many games did he win for us too? So
it was war.
Totally, right? There was a lot of reasons why we did not make it in this year. I would say like the biggest thing was the over performances from the people in our division doing as well as they were doing. Let's take a look at some comments.
Let's read it up, guys.
Alan Diaz, Ryan, I'm not a Jays fan, but it is impressive for a young team. And yes, exactly. That Lourdes finger injury, we can pinpoint that. Where was he when we needed him? He wasn't there. Where was Teoscar Hernandez in this last series? Not really there.
Yeah, and like the cold and hot streaks of Vladdy the last like 2 months, that was a thing. Like that's baseball, man. That's just baseball.
That's sports. That's everything, right? That is literally everything.
Yeah. Oh, Jays won't win half their games next year. That's Not true.
I do believe that we will do that.
Well,
Detroit
we're definitely going to
burn
win
the Jays in that series. Yeah, and there was a bunch of series, right? And we were talking about it too. This Yankee series that we had this past week, we had to win it. If we would have won it, if we would have done that, then we would be in the wild card. We wouldn't even need to play. I don't think. No, we would.
No, because Yankees we'd be one a game ahead of them, so we might have been even or tied. My brain's too tired to do that right now.
Handle that right now. Yeah, my brain cannot handle that.
But guys, like, I just want to look forward and stay positive. You know what I mean?
My next question was going to be, with everything that happened, obviously we're not in it. I wish that we were.
Yeah.
But are you happy with what you saw this season? Was this a good year for you?
Absolutely. Because we started the year, you could think about every year that the Toronto Blue Jays had, 2020, 2021, this year, you see improvements. And I wanted to see improvements. We saw Vladdy improve.
Yeah.
We saw Teoscar maintain. Yeah. We saw Robbie Ray improve. The whole pitching staff as a total, as a whole, improve. Bullpen and rotation. We saw breakout performances from Alek Manoah.
Yes.
We saw breakout stuff from, you could even say, like Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at the end there. He continued. It's not even that like improving. If we regress, that's a negative. We kept maintaining. We saw, even though George Springer was hurt, we got to see what he could do when healthy. Marcus Semien, Bo Bichette, guys across the board.
Yeah,
amazing.
Totally, dude. Even at the end there, Nate Pearson in that bullpen, instilling me with a lot of confidence to maybe earn a starting role coming into the beginning of next year, right?
Yeah.
100%. Danny Jansen down the stretch. He was the worst fucking player in the MLB for the first 2 months.
Yeah.
And now he has an OPS like in the high 700. So figure me out that one, right?
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of stuff to like about this year. And yes, obviously, like, the Vladdy breakout is massive. The whole Kevin Biggio thing, that wasn't so good.
Yes.
But I mean, like, across the board, at the end of the day, we watch sports to be entertained, and I would argue that I was extremely entertained right up until the very end.
Can I just say, I always say this, what a roller coaster.
What a roller coaster.
Like, actually, when you think about, even this last week, we were up and then down, then up, then down. We were down going into the weekend, then we were so up right at the very end. We were 5-1. Fucking Washington beating Boston. We won our game.
Yeah.
And then they came back and won.
And then they
just
dropped.
They
came back.
They just dropped. Roller up and down.
Yes.
So that's entertainment. But for next year, definitely a season that I'm expecting, and it all depends on the offseason too, that I'm expecting we got to make postseason, or else it's a disappointment.
Yeah,
that's
100%, 100%.
And guys, into the offseason, we're going to break down even further. We're kind of just reacting right now. We want to break down exactly, like, what were the disappointments?
What went wrong? What do we need to improve on? What do we need to bring in? Obviously, we're going to be looking a lot, guys, against those contracts. Not only just re-signing Ray, re-signing Semien, re-signing Matz, but also looking at extensions for our boys. Talking about Charlie Montoyo. Does he deserve another year? Talking about the other teams, too. Can we expect Boston to get 90 wins next year? Or are they going to finally drop off like we all expected them to this year? All of that is going to be coming very, very soon. Any final thoughts as far as the Blue Jays season goes, man?
I'm proud of them. I am actually really proud of them.
Right.
They did it. And, like, they did all they could do. The players, the management. The front office did literally everything they could possibly do to bring a winning team to Toronto, and they did right at the end. And I think that winning mentality will continue into the next season because the boys are hungry and they want a taste of the postseason.
Absolutely, bro. Even though we didn't make postseason, guys, this was a step up from last year. Doesn't feel like it right now, but I think looking back on it, we will all look back on this season very fondly, and this is just the beginning of that Blue Jays dynasty, guys. Please, if you're new, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. We're going to be coming out tomorrow with a big Blue Jays Today show, talking a little bit more about this whole Blue Jays thing, our whole season as a whole, and also looking ahead at those wild card matchups, looking ahead at some of the storylines about how some other teams got in, and we are going to be going live for those wild cards. Wish that we had the Blue Jays in them, but you know what? Now I can just sit back, relax, and watch the Yankees or the Boston Red Sox, and just, whatever happens.
Yeah,
So, that'll be
guys.
fun.
Also, I'd like to thank all of you for like an incredible Blue Jays season. This was awesome.
Yes,
Thank you to all the
seriously.
fans that even weren't Blue Jays fans that have come in and watched and supported us. It's been incredible, man.
Yeah.
So
many new friends.
so many. The fact that like we had almost 100 of you guys just getting our reaction here, like that's awesome. And I hope to see you guys all off season, giving your speculation, putting on your general manager hats. What are you gonna do? Because we're gonna do the same.
Totally.
And and hopefully we can hop on some bandwagons. What are we saying? What bandwagons in the AL?
I'm on the AL.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give it to those Red Sox, man.
Yeah.
They surprised the hell out of me this year. I was
Oh.
down on them all off season,
Yeah.
and here they are. So I'm gonna go on the Red Sox.
Okay, Red Sox. I've got them. I got them as well.
Yeah.
I got them as
and
well.
I got the Brew Crew in the
Brew
NL.
Crew
So that's
in
the
the NL.
bandwagons we're hopping on,
guys want to hop on them with us? Let's
Yes,
go.
Seriously, guys. Yes, and Andrew, do Raptors games. We will.
Yes, absolutely.
We will do some football games. We will do some hockey games.
Yes,
We will have
yes.
a bunch of content coming for you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
And
Go Jays, go!
9-1 wins, baby. We did it.